For 18 years, the Bachelor franchise has given us countless moments of love, laughter, and heartbreak. The show's host, Chris Harrison, is famous for providing a shoulder to cry on and giving sound advice when needed. And now he's partnering with the brand that's also well known for giving great advice, Kelley Blue Book. And joining us now is the man himself, Bachelor Nation's favorite host, Chris Harrison. Chris, so great to have you with us today. I do want to understand, why did you decide to partner up with Kelley Blue Book?
Well, I guess as trusted as I am with love and roses, Kelley Blue Book, my entire life has been trusted with cars and car pricing. I mean, since I was a kid, and I'm old enough to have actually had the actual Kelley Blue Book. We used to have these things called books. Now, obviously, we go online to kbb.com. But I never bought a used car when I was a kid without going to Kelley Blue Book. And now I'm a father of two. I have two teenagers that are driving, and we've got them used cars. And we did the same thing that I did when I was a kid. We went to Kelley Blue Book. We figured out the price. Is this fair? Well, what they've been doing, being the gold standard for pricing cars, they've moved into auto repair, and they created the auto repair guide. And now, for example, I have no idea how much a brake job costs, a fan belt, a radiator. I don't know any of that stuff, but it's so important to me and my kids. And now they have created the auto repair guide. So you go to their website, kbb.com, and you get fair pricing. You can set up your appointment. Everything is taken care of. And for a father of two young drivers, it is so reassuring that it's taken that stress off my plate. And I think, like most of us, our cars are so important, but we know so little about them.
That is very true, Chris. So great advice from the auto repair guide. We know you're very good at giving advice, so I do want to extract a little bit more advice out of you. You did tweet last night during the presidential debate. Let's pull up this tweet. Chris Wallace now knows what it's like to host the Bachelor Tell-All specials, which I thought was so funny. I want to understand from you, what were some of your biggest learnings from hosting all of those tell-all specials on The Bachelor and Bachelorette, and what advice do you have for future moderators, future people who have to deal with that kind of back and forth? There's a tweet right there.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I honestly had heart palpitations last night. I was sweating because I feel for him. I will get into these, tell-all moments, and inevitably everybody starts talking over each other. They all start yelling. They all get into it. And I feel like a principal trying to break up a fight on the playground. I think at one point during my career, I even whistled just to break it up. And it was hysterical. And I felt like that last night for Chris Wallace. I felt so bad. It was an unruly schoolyard the poor guy had to deal with. And so while everybody was giving him a hard time, Chris, I feel for you, man. I know that pain. And there's not a whole lot you can do.
And Chris, I do have to say you do a very good job of reining in all the voices during those tell-alls, so good for you. So speaking of which, the new season of The Bachelorette premiering on October 13th, you said that Claire Crawley was not wasting time. You've also said that Tayshia Adams is not the Bachelorette after Claire Crawley in the season, but regardless of what happens, do you think this could really change the way that the franchise really treats the show, given what happened to Claire?
Well, you know, Claire, you're right. As far as that quote about Claire, she's not messing around. She wasn't there for the pomp and circumstance and the pageantry. She was there to find somebody, and Lord knows she waited long enough. I mean, she had to wait 6 to 7 months to be the Bachelorette during the pandemic, and so she wasn't wasting time. And then what happens after that and during that, everyone's going to have to wait and see. But it is explosive. It is a season unlike any other. And will this change things permanently? No, I think we've been doing a really good job the last several years of just organically embracing whatever happens on this show. And being in that pandemic bubble where we shot in Palm Springs the entire season really allowed us to never release that pressure. We were there the whole time. So Bachelor Nation, you're going to see everything that happens, every conversation, every decision, you're going to see it.
Well, Chris, since this season was filmed in this pandemic bubble, as you mentioned, do you think that it will change the notion of traveling in future seasons? Will there be a different approach to where these dates actually happen in a post-pandemic world?
I hope not to a large degree, because I love travel. I love being around the world. I've met so many amazing people, seen so many things and done so many incredible things. So I hope that doesn't change. And I can't wait to get back on the road around the world when things open up globally. But until then, yeah, it is going to be different. Claire's season, different. Matt James' season, we're about to start production. That's going to be much like Claire's, where it's done inside a bubble safely. But man, I sure hope we all get to hit the road soon.
Yeah, we all hope so too as fans. You know, I do want to talk about Matt James's season, as we've talked about before, the first Black Bachelor in the season in the franchise's history. But we don't know him in the same way we have known other leads before. Do you think this is going to change the air, the approach of the season overall, that we don't know him as much as we would have known other leads?
Yeah, but it's a little old school for us. I mean, we used to do this all the time, but again, I've been around a while. But for a very long time, you wouldn't know the Bachelor, Bachelorette. They were that diamond in the rough, and I like mixing it up. And Matt James is a very special young man that has a lot to give. He's smart, obviously pretty easy on the eyes, but a very caring, kind soul. And I think these women are going to be very lucky to have a chance to fall in love with this guy. Will we continue to do this? I don't know. One of the things is there are no rules when it comes to the Bachelor and Bachelorette. If we think it's a good idea, we're going to do it. And if we find out later it wasn't a great idea, hopefully we'll backtrack. But right now, we love this guy. It was a great call. But we'll see. Will that spill over to the Bachelorette? Who knows?
All right, Chris, we cannot wait for future seasons. Thank you so much for your time today. That's Chris Harrison, host of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Thanks again.